There are people who are coming out of the Trump administration not so well off, having trouble getting jobs and things like that. But what do you know? That crazy couple, Jared and Ivanka, managed to land on their feet and score hundreds of millions of dollars along the way. So here's what we can learn from their final financial disclosure forms. Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and Jared Kushner reported as much as $120 million in income for 2020. That's more than a 20% drop from what they reported a year earlier. In 2017, shortly after joining White House staff, they reported income as much as $195 million, but that's over a longer period of time than the ones that follow, so it's not directly comparable. In their most recent disclosure, they list assets worth between $206 and $803 million. That is slightly down on the low end, up on the high end from 2017. Jesus. And look, there's more, but it is so frustrating because these are two people that have had 4 years in the public eye to fix problems, assist the president, aid in important topics of both domestic and international policy. At no point during any of that did either of them demonstrate a single monetizable skill. And yet, while that was what they were doing, solving the crisis in the Middle East and all that, / whatever, they were pulling in hundreds of millions of dollars. That is incredibly frustrating.
It's a pretty good gig they got there going.
Get it.
We're seeing more and more of the reasons why they want to make sure that Trump wasn't voted out or even left after losing, to make sure this money making could happen. Again, I do remember in 2015, definitely 2016, before November elections, people were talking about how this president and his family is looking to enrich themselves off of the presidency, off the position, off the power and influence at the expense of America. Because in order to do that, maybe you make some deals with certain people, maybe you make some deals with other countries, maybe you make deals with other leaders to make sure that you can profit off of the office, which is not supposed to happen, because that will help them and hurt everyone else. Look at us 4 years later, hurting off of what they did and the help that they've gotten as they waltz off to Florida to maybe plan a Senate run against Marco Rubio. That's the next step. It's like, this is the best cash cow we've had in a long time from doing absolutely nothing. Like, we only have to lie to a bunch of people who believe us all the time. This is easy. So this is, it's an easy grift for the next hundreds and hundreds of million dollars that they look to make.
Yeah. And
it's not like we didn't warn you.
No, totally. And we tracked a lot of this along the way, stuff going on with Jared Kushner and the Emirates and about the really expensive building he owns and all that. His dad was pardoned by the president. That's nice for them. It's good. It's good to see good news happen to such terrible people. But it's not just that. You know what the right wing's mad about this week? And this is literally true. You can find it. Hunter Biden had a lawyer. That lawyer knew a different lawyer. That different lawyer got some sort of government job. That's literally a scandal. That's the Hunter Biden scandal. They made hundreds of millions. And let's say, okay, well, they're like nepotism. That's a problem now. The fact that they were there that whole time pulling in so much money was not an issue. But then also, like, William Barr, one of his kids got a government position. Someone related to Rudy Giuliani got a position. Like, it wasn't just Trump's own family. Everyone was cashing in, and positions that they had no actual. Absolutely. There was some guy who was involved in some sort of White House sports promotional thing, had no experience in anything having to do with any of that, but he was related to one of the individuals in the administration. So, like, the idea that now they care about nepotism is insane.
It checks though. It's the way they've always been. Anytime they'll complain about government spending, the debt and the deficit, and then complain about Democrats are the party of the big spenders, when it's consistently obvious that Republicans spend like crazy, give money to a bunch of rich folks, and hope that they give money back, because apparently it's all theirs, to give money back to the rest of the American people, which they never do. But they'll continue to cite these phantom studies that show that trickle-down economics work, but then they'll complain about the other side. And for some reason, we continue to believe them. So I have no faith that we're gonna see this and go, yeah, that whole nepotism thing kind of happened under the Trump administration, but isn't happening here. We'll hear every story that they say about any kind of nepotism from a friend of a former attorney's daughter's cousin and be like, oh my God, look at the connections. And we'll go, wow, did you guys see those connections? Can you believe the Biden administration is this corrupt? There's plenty of things that I'm sure we'll be able to focus on that the Biden administration will do wrong, because they will. And this is just to jump on this is the equivalent of the tan suits and the mustard on hot dogs that we had under Obama. We're back to that now. I don't understand it, and I'm not sure why we're listening to it. I think because enough people that are following them will.
Well, look, we occasionally have on Dave Leventhal. I know he's been watching some of the financial stuff. We will see. I know some people have hopes that some of the obvious corruption, financial crimes, tax fraud, all of that will eventually come back to bite them. I don't have a lot of hope in that area, but we'll see. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.